first person to tell me when these two were Intercontinental Champions of WWF, first day to last day, receives some free swag in the comment section. Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, this is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's 13th most popular wine 5-day-a-week show program. Did I say I'm the host? I'm confused. This is going to be a long taping session. Oh yes, we are at South by Southwest, right? Oh no, we're not. This is today's show. This is a bumble. Anyway, kosher wine, completely underrated, completely misconceived, misconstrued, and most importantly, prejudiced on. And so that is what's going on in the entire wine world. Oh, red wine's more better. I love it. This is going to be a long show. Red wine's better than white wine. Rosé wines stink. Rated wines are better than unrated wines. All that kind of stuff. All the preconceived notions. So many things are broken in the wine industry, and WLTV is here to fix them at some level, I hope. And today we're going to focus on 3 kosher wines. What's really exciting to me is that the quality has exploded. And if you've been following Daniel Ragoff, who's a great wine critic, who's done some amazing stuff, all 3 of these are scored by him. I've been following some of his stuff, and I give him a lot of credit. We've talked about him on the show before. Brought a lot of attention and notoriety in Israel, especially to some of the kosher and maybe some non-kosher wines. I don't remember. I think that as well. Some of the Israeli non-kosher wines are exceptional. I'm really excited about what's going on in Lebanon, and now I'm hearing that Stepan Darencourt, one of the best winemakers in the world, is starting a project in Syria. So the whole Middle East, I think, has long-term potential to create some world-class wines. A lot of people, know that that was a hotbed of wine production a long time ago. So really excited about these 3 wines, all reds, really focusing on them. And so let's get right into them, because that's what we do on the Thunder Show, Mott. Seagull's 2004 Cabernet Sauvignon Special Reserve. This wine rolls in at $17 US, 88 points, Daniel Ragoff. And let's see what's going on here. A little rinse. So let's see what we can do here. Hope everybody out there. Really, side question quickly: Have you drank premium kosher wine recently? Really curious about that. Some great color. Let's pour a little bit out for all the people that don't drink kosher wine and think that they're just junky sweet wines and don't get it. And now let's give it a little bit of a snippy sniff. Rolling deep right off the bat on some very interesting green, asparagus, pickly, celery stick kind of action, and that's woken me up and I'm excited. The alcohol's coming through a little bit too much on this wine for me. A little rubbing alcohol, a little Vicks Vapor Rub action coming through on the middle of the smell. So I'm a little concerned about that off the bat. But some very lovely red fruit. Strawberries, a little plum action, and just really, really nice. Let's give it a whirl. A little candy-esque. Great bouquet. Not bad at all. When you really get into the alcohol comes through a little bit, but not too bad. Let's give it a whirl. Pretty good. Compared to many, and I mean many, $13 to $20 California Cabernets, this is far more advanced in structure. The fruit is very pure. I'm extremely impressed with the fruit. Some nice oakiness coming through, but not oak monster time. Integration time. Holding hands. Hands across America. I mean, really, really solid action. Great raspberry jam fruit. Nice back-end chocolate. Meets cedar on the back end. Little hints of tobacco now dancing. Crazy long finish as I'm yapping away. Stunned that I'm still tasting this wine so obviously. Really solid. Balance. With a capital B. Is absolutely the defining way to express my feelings about this vino. Uh-oh. Lizzie's gonna be mad. Anyway, solid action, little hint of basil on the finish, what I'm appreciative of. Gorgeous plum raspberry components on the finish. I think DR might have even underscored this wine. I think this wine rolls in closer to a 90-point wine. And at 17 bones, I'll be very honest with you, wipes out. Wipes out. 80% of the cabs in the $15 to $20 range in California, maybe higher. An extremely solid effort. Great way to start the show. The lowest rated of the bunch. And so I'm pretty darn optimistic at this point. Let's move on. Great package. Galil Mountain 2003 Yon. Yon is the name of the blend. 61% Cabernet Sauvignon, 32% Merlot, 7% Syrah, 16 months in French oak, 92 points Dan Rogoff, $20 US. And I'm excited about trying this wine. I've heard a lot of things about this wine. A lot of buzz on the inner circles of the wine nerdom on this wine. I think it's got some big potential. It's a great package. I mean, they're really very California-esque, 1994. See what's going on here. Great color. I mean, beautiful, beautiful dark black raspberry kind of colors coming through. Let's give this wine a sniffy sniff. Very interesting. Almost smells like bacon meets cherries and then pan-seared, if that makes sense. Very floral as well. I get a lot of rose petals, some violet action going on. This is a little Mother's Day in a nose kind of going on, so that's kind of interesting. The bacon's kind of interesting. Lots of cherries coming through on the nose. Very interesting, very different in its approach. I haven't come across a lot of bacon floral wines, and so that's what this is doing, so I'm enjoying that. Let's give this wine a whirl. Nice body, good complexity. Man, I just really wish that people had the opportunity to taste these wines. The preconceived notions on the kosher and Israeli wines are so off base. This is so typical to the New World California cabs, blends. I could almost call this a baby insignia if I really wanted to. Very solid effort. A little too oaky for me on the mid-palate. Good transition into blackberry and black fruit on the finish. Very ripe, very clean, very obvious, very explosive. Cannot get away from the obvious purple nerd candies from the 80s that are dominating the mid-palate transition fruit to the finish. Textbook blend meritage. I know not the proper term in this, but you know, textbook. Solid. Not as enthusiastic as DR on this wine. I'm going to stick to 90 points on this as well. Would probably prefer the Seagull's Cab, believe it or not, to this wine. But again, at 20 bones and this kind of style, the majority of people drinking wine, I think, are going to lean towards this. This is a very solid effort. Another example of the revolution, the rise of the phoenix in this area of the world. This whole new path that a lot of these wineries are taking for high quality wines. I'm pretty impressed. Solid stuff. Let's move on. Ben Zimra, 2004 Merlot from the Carmel Winery. Carmel has been there a long time. Single vineyard, $24 US, 91 points Rogoff, 12 months in French oak, and let's see what's going on here. We'll give it a little bit of a rinsey rinse, and then a sniffy sniff, and then a whirl, and then our comments, and then a question a day, and we'll move on because we've got shows. We've got shows in different area codes. Sniffy sniff! Now this is extreme fruit on the nose right off the bat. I get a lot of cherry juice action on the nose, which is quite interesting and quite obvious. As a matter of fact, it's a cherry ice pop that is melted. You know, the long, big sticks or whatever. Flavor ice. Flavor ice, thank you, Eric. Kastner, original cameraman. Do you want to make a quick appearance? A lot of people know what you look like. You look kind of cool right now. Say hello and tell them. Give them a thought, Eric.
How's it going? I'm sick, so I don't want to get Gary sick with this area.
That's a thought. Anyways. jerk. Anyway, lots of flavor ice, cherry flavored, iced up, then melted down. That's what this smells like. Also some really pretty perfume type aspects. Also rose petals. Getting a lot of floral action on these wines. Let's give this wine a whirl. Not as much for me. Lots of almost like fake sugar and some back-end awkward tannins coming through. A little disjointed and way too sugar-fied. You know, this wine should jump up over and hang out with the kangaroos. They'll fit right in. I'm going to give this wine a pass. This is that fake fruit that concerns me at times. And just not my style, to be honest with you. This Merlot is way too extracted for me. It's inky. It's well-structured. You know, it's going to last for 5 to 7 years, but I think it's going to fall on its face. I don't see the back end that I'd like to see. To be honest, I'm really taken aback and turned off by the initial attack of sugar. And that's what's really bothering me with this wine. I'm going to score this wine 85 points. I don't think it's horrible. I think it's serviceable for some people. But to me, it's a major pass at 24 bones. There are a lot of other ways to spend your 96 quarters. So, did I do that math right? Did it quick. Anyway, question of the day. Have you tried a $15 plus kosher wine? That's the question. Because you, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world, whether they like it or not.